What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 17:24 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Europe. So, apparently, NATO has put 500,000 troops on high alert. This was reported by the spokesperson for NATO, Farah Dalala, in an interview with CNN. He said since 2014, NATO has undergone the most significant transformation in our collective defense in a generation. We have put in place the most comprehensive defense plans since the end of the Cold War, and more than 500,000 troops are now on high alert. Wow, guys, that is absolutely huge. So, NATO is preparing for a war with Russia. I showed you guys the footage from Latvia yesterday of all of the anti tank obstacles that were put on the border with Russia. Poland is building the largest defense line since World War II along the border of Belarus and Russia. So get prepared, guys. It's very possible that World War III could break out before the election, which would basically cancel the election and make Biden a wartime president. We also have some major breaking news coming in from Yellowstone. There was some type of an eruption at Yellowstone today at one of the geysers. This was at the Biscuit Basin Geyser, and Yellowstone Park rangers have confirmed that no injuries have occurred. But check this out, guys. This is a huge sign that the Yellowstone super volcano could be getting ready to blow at some point in our lifetime.
Run, 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 run!
Keep going.
Run, 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 run! Shit!
So, massive eruption there at this geyser in Yellowstone. Guys, get prepared. We are living in the end times, okay? We have record volcanic activity around the world. We have wars and rumors of wars. We have potentially a new pandemic coming with the bird flu. We just had a global IT outage, okay, which I believe was a beta test for something larger. And I want to remind you guys that DARPA created the internet, okay? DARPA in the 1970s created ARPANET, which was the first internet used for defense advanced research projects in the US to communicate between different facilities and Ivy League schools. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so get prepared, guys. Things are about to get crazy. And here we have video footage of Biden in Delaware. Proof of life. Biden is not dead. So let me just play this for you.
How are you feeling?
Mr. President, how are you feeling?
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling?
Well, come talk to us.
Come on.
How are you feeling since you dropped out of the race, sir?
How are you feeling about Harris's campaign?
Can Harris beat Trump?
Can Harris beat Trump, Mr. President?
So he looks normal here. And yesterday, Biden signed this declaration delegating support for Ukraine to the Secretary of Treasury and the Secretary of State. Isn't that interesting? And 2 American B-52 nuclear bombers landed yesterday at the Romanian Mihkel Kăgălnescu Air Base. And what's very interesting about that, which that's actually historic in and of itself, this is the first time that American B-52s will be stationed at a Romanian airbase right next to Ukraine. And this is a sign that America is preparing to strike Russian forces inside of Ukraine. The B-52s would be perfect for that. But apparently, while they were flying in international airspace, Russian fighter jets were following them. So that's pretty concerning. And Ukrainian naval forces caused significant damage to a Russian ferry ship, the Slavyanin, and this happened in the port of Kavkaz in the Kerch Strait. So the Ukrainians destroying another Russian ship, and Ukrainian intelligence is reporting that Russia has massed 90,000 troops in the Zaporizhia region, which is in south central Ukraine, close to the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Now, a couple of days ago, 5,000 Ukrainians were ejected from the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant by Russia. Okay, so there were still 5,000 plus Ukrainians working in this nuclear power plant, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. It has 6 nuclear reactors. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day, breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged water-resistant buckets, and free shipping is included. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. And Russia's taken control over it since the war started, and then suddenly over the weekend they kicked out 5,000 Ukrainians, which could be a sign that Putin is getting ready to blow the nuclear plant or sabotage it and then blame Ukraine or say that it was some kind of an accident. But this is very, very concerning. And so now 90,000 Russian troops are massing in that area, okay? And the port in Yemen that was struck by Israel on Friday will likely take months to repair. And a Greek border guard was shot in the stomach on Saturday while patrolling an area of the Greek-Turkey border where undocumented migrants seek to enter the EU. Greek police have said the injuries are not life-threatening. 4 Greek border guard officers were on duty along the Evros River, the land border with Turkey, shortly after 6 p.m. Saturday when 3 or 4 shots rang out from the Turkish side, police said. A bullet hit one of the border guards in the lower abdomen. The injured man was taken to a hospital in the town of Didi Maticho, where he was operated on, police said. Police added that the injured officer was in stable, non-life-threatening condition. So very concerning, guys. Okay, we know that Turkey and Greece don't get along, and they're literally constantly on the verge of war. So this is not a good sign at all. And earlier today, Taiwan sent out this emergency alert to people in Taiwan on their phones. It said air defense drill, incoming missile and rocket threat, seek immediate shelter. Okay, so Taiwan is doing these drills now for incoming missiles and rockets. That's another sign that China is on the verge of attacking Taiwan. And by the way, we still have not heard anything of Xi Jinping's whereabouts. Okay, he supposedly suffered a severe stroke about a week and a half ago, and I do believe that that's legit because the person who reported it initially, her name is Jennifer Zhang. She's a Chinese activist journalist, and she had inside sources. So I do believe it's legit. I think he did suffer a stroke. We haven't seen him since a week and a half ago, and he was supposed to preside over the third session of the Chinese Communist Party, and he was not able to, and his buddy Kai Ki presided in place of him. Okay, so that's a sign that something is wrong. All right. A new Reuters poll is showing that Kamala Harris is now beating Trump 44 to 42%. And we currently have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert over the United States. Here we have 3 Boeing E-6 Mercury nuclear war command and control planes up in the air. These planes are responsible for communicating with our submerged nuclear-armed submarines, and they can also remotely launch all of our Minuteman III ICBMs. We also had some U.S. Missile Defense Agency planes out in the Eastern Caribbean near Puerto Rico and Bermuda earlier today. This is very, very interesting, and I've actually never seen this before, so I'm not sure what was going on over here, but one of them was looping just north of the British Virgin Islands, and one was out here south of Bermuda. We also have a bunch of VIP planes that just landed in the DC area. We have 2 U.S. Army priority air transport planes that went into D.C. We have 1 U.S. Navy VIP plane, and then we have Air Force Two, which is Kamala Harris returning from Milwaukee, her first campaign stop. So something's going on for all of these military VIPs to be going into D.C., and we also have a P-8 Poseidon that was active off the coast of North Carolina. We've been seeing every single day for the last week an AWACS plane right in this area off the coast of the Outer Banks, just looping like maybe 100 to 200 miles off the coast. And then today we have a P-8 Poseidon, which is a sub hunter. And last night we had this secure data link that was being transmitted from a U.S. continuity of government bunker, either Raven Rock or Mount Weather, most likely Raven Rock. So not sure what was going on there, but here's what it sounds like. You're not going to really be able to hear anything, just a fuzzy noise because it is encrypted. So usually this would mean that there's some kind of a video conference going on, let's say between Raven Rock and the White House or some other site. Okay, so maybe it was Biden communicating with Raven Rock. Raven Rock is the alternate National Military Command Center. If there were a nuclear war, the Pentagon would go to Raven Rock. And then we also had a U.S. relocatable over-the-horizon radar. This is a nuclear war radar that was active last night. And also we had 2 Russian nuclear war radars as well. And that was all going on at the same time as the secure data link from Raven Rock, which is a COG bunker. So that's what it sounds like. Nothing really too interesting there. And then here was one of the Russian nuclear war radars. This is known as the container radar. And former President Barack Obama, in a statement on Sunday, praised President Joe Biden for his decision to leave his re-election race, but he did not endorse Vice President Kamala Harris's candidacy. Instead, he called for an open convention to decide on a new nominee. So basically, the Democrats are pushing for this open convention to make it seem like it's fair and they're not just selecting Kamala Harris. They want to give, people a chance to vote and whatnot, so it looks fair, so Democrats are not disenfranchised. Okay, the everyday Democrat voter, the normal citizen, they don't feel disenfranchised, so they're going to have an open convention. He said, "We will be navigating uncharted waters in the days ahead, but I have extraordinary confidence that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges. Vision of a generous, prosperous, and united America that provides opportunity for everyone will be on full display at the Democratic Convention in August. I expect that every single one of us are prepared to carry that message of hope and progress forward into November and beyond." So strong words there from Obama. And Trump said he's looking forward to hosting Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago this week. And Japan and the U.S. are about to sign a historic agreement which would bring Japan under the U.S. nuclear umbrella. This would basically change Japan's non-nuclear status. Now, there have been suspicions over the years that Japan has a nuclear weapons program, or at least they have the material for nuclear weapons, but they haven't actually built one. But now Japan would fall under the U.S. nuclear umbrella. And remember that one of the U.S. military's largest bases in Asia is in Okinawa, Japan, which is very close to Taiwan. And in the event of a war with China over Taiwan, it is possible that China would try to attack Okinawa. And so the U.S. wants to be able to use nuclear weapons against China if that were to happen. And Taiwan has kicked off their annual Han Kuang military exercises, which this year are supposed to be different than previous years. Apparently, they're going to try to realistically simulate defending an attack from China. And they've specifically been training on repelling beach landings and breaking blockades. And Taiwan has canceled takeoff and landing exercises at Chashan Air Base during this exercise in eastern Taiwan as Typhoon Gaimi approaches. Okay, so typhoons are no joke. We had some interesting radio traffic earlier this afternoon on the U.S. nuclear war frequencies. This was on a secondary nuclear war frequency, and the caller was discussing with another caller a VIP that had a TBI, traumatic brain injury, from an IED. I believe this was some kind of an exercise because one of the callers was on a C-130 and the C-130 was doing a counterclockwise loop over southern New England. So I do believe this was some kind of an exercise, but still very interesting. Let me play it for you.
This is an AE mission on Vader 07 to report change in patient status.
To report change in patient status.
Patient site number 549701. TBI patient after IED blast. Complaints of increased head pain 10 out of 10. Patient medicated for AECT with PO Tylenol. And complaints of increased nausea, requesting to divert.
So, TBI patient update, IED blast. Okay, so I don't know if this is an exercise or if this was legit, but very interesting.
Over.
And then this was the flight path of the plane, that caller, the female caller. She was on this plane here that took off from Springfield, Massachusetts, and did this big loop. But that's the latest breaking news that I have, guys. I will be back later with more breaking news. Just get prepared because things are going to get really crazy right before the election. So until later on, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.